Hello, people. I'm continuing on my little frog journey here. Next step I want to take is have a system that just spawns frogs everywhere. So something that will have some set positions where the frogs could be, and then randomizes if the frogs are there or not. I'm thinking now. There's a lot going on in this description that might be a bit much for one video. We'll see. Let me check my levels. Yeah. I've actually didn't thought this through yet before I started recording, so bear with me. I know one thing: we will want to have a frog manager here. Let's put that over here. Oh, I pressed focus. Let's say that this beautiful little frog manager has a rotation of 0 and be more or less in the center of where I want the critters to appear. Alright, cool. Then let's create our little script here. Frogs manager. Now obviously I might expand this to that it's not actually a frog manager, but just a critter manager of some sorts. But we'll see. So now, first thing this thing needs is a public game object source frog. This will just point to the object it can spawn as frogs, and to keep track of all of them, we will have a hash set jumping frog in this case. Frogs. I'm always initializing my hash sets here, because I always forget to do that in the necessary methods if I don't do it here. Hash set, new hash set, jumping frog. Like, oopsie. Like so. I don't know why we're green. The type jumping frog conflicts with the... come on. I don't think this is an actual error here, because this is just my jumping frog script, and VS Code has just screwed up its symbol management again. It happens often enough. So, on awake, we want to hide the source frog. Source frog dot set active false. Okay. And then, right, finally, we have a spawn frogs function. Let's see. I think for now we're just gonna spawn a copy of the source frog. Up. I always call my objects up. I don't know why. I think it's from Cinema 4D scripting. Is instance. Oh wait, this should be game objects cast instantiate, and I'm always forgetting how this exactly works. Frog. I can give it a position. Yeah, let's just do that here. Source frog. Frog dot transform need to turn on the lights here because my typing suffers. Position source frog dot transform dot rotation, right? And can I give it a parent? Yes, I can give it a parent of myself. And we will add frogs, add up dot get component jumping frog. So it's in the hash set. Okay, now we're not giving it any random positions or locations. Yeah, I'm just setting this up so the frog doesn't disappear on me when I run this. Huh. So this will just... Yeah, can I go here, please? This will be my frogs. We will drop the frog manager on that. We will give it one source frog. There we go. And if we run it, it will hide that frog, clone it, and I forget to activate it. Up, set active true. And because spawn frogs, let's just call that in start. For now, spawn frogs. Yes. And let's see what happens. Okay, that works. Here's the original frog, here's my clone frog, which is just working as it should, including the trigger here, including the target there. So cool. Okay, now what I need for this to work is having a few random source thingies. So I was thinking, what about target field? What about having a object here with a certain radius, and it should actually be below the surface, I guess. That is like, how do you say, a field where the target can go. I don't think I have something scripted like that yet. So what I need here is an object with a simple function that simply returns a random point in a certain field in the scene. So let's create a script and call this random field point. Is that a good title? I don't know. Always thinking, second guessing the titles I give my scripts and objects. Oh, bear with me. So what this does is just, yeah, I think I'll just call this a random field. Random location fields. That sounds good. Okay, that compiles. I'll drop it on my thingy. Excuse me. And I was thinking something rather simple. For now, we can just make this single use specifically for the frogs. We will need a float radius. a public float radius, and let's do that. Let's do just no. Let's do the logical thing and have that at a meter. I will have a public. Oh, sorry, not public. Just a void on draw gizmos selected, because I have a helper function in my set that just draws a neat circle. Let's see, gizmos.color is color or .cyan. Gizmos.matrix, yes, is like transform dots. What was it again? Local to world matrix. This makes the simply the circle display in transform space. And where is my yes and help dots draw? What was it? No, something with circle. Draw gizmo circle. Yes. Vector 3.0 is the origin. I use the normal to vector 3.up along the y-axis, and the radius is obviously radius. Steps 24 is okay. Yes, show yourself, please. There we go, there's my circle. And now I could simply, well, I could decrease the radius, obviously, and I can also, like, scale it, as long as I make sure that I perform the random calculations inside of this transform space. So the only thing that this should have is a public function, sorry, public vector 3 get random point vector 3 pay p is random dot inside unit circle. Oh, wait a moment, this gives us a vector 2, right? Yeah, so we have to swap around some parameters. P.x can stay x, P.y will be 0, but P.z will have to be P.y. P.y equals 0. Return. Oh, wait, yes, we have to transform this point into global space, because this is the point inside the transform, and it takes all the scaling and stuff with it, which is good. And to have a global point, we simply return transform. It's a point, no vector. Well, it's kind of a vector, but I think transform point should work like this. All right. Excuse me. So now my frog manager can have a public random location field target area. Yes. And then let's type that correctly. And the location field target area, that's good. And then we can, for every time we spawn frogs, we can give it, let's see, frogs. Oh, wait a moment. We will need a reference to that. Jumping frog, frog equals this one. Frog dot jump target dot position equals target area dot get. Did I call it cat? Yes, here we go. That's my function. Get random point. So the frog now has a random target, and it gets added to the asset frog. Cool. And then it gets set active, and this means that every time at this moment that I start up, yeah, this is a bit, oh, let's compile. It's not really good to show this in editor as it is now. Let's see what happens. So the target is now over here. If all goes well and we start. Okay, we forget to define our references. Here's your target field once more. Okay, come on. There we go. As you can see, the frog now has a target over there. And if we trigger it, it will jump over there and just return. Okay. That works. Cool. Let me try what happens if I disable the whole thing. Yeah, it doesn't run the spawn function again. So now I want more frogs than this, but I'm not sure if this video maybe is already complicated enough. You know what? Yeah, I was thinking this is a target field. Let's have another group in here. Spawn locations. Just having target fields also for the spawn field. For the spawn fields here. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Let's reset the stuff here. One. So I was thinking I could use this function as well for different starting locations. Let me see, can I snap this? Yes, it snaps, right? Yeah. But then it might not be entirely ideal, and I don't think we win a lot by having an area for the frog to spawn instead of a small, just a single location. I'm not sure. You know what? Let's just try, because I forget that we can do this, and this might be kind of nice. So frogs can spawn in this area. Let's not forget that we should definitely have a frog spawn here, just for the good old time's sake. Let's see, spawn field. Oh, sorry, I pressed focus. So frog spawns here. I'm gonna try to see what happens if I angle this. Because I know on the reset function the frog will just straighten itself out in world space. Might be nice to have this frog spawn like in an area like this. I should take care that the frog can actually spawn on the exact rim of the circle here, so it can be on the full edge. So I should actually maybe scale this one down a little as well, like so. And let's see, let's have another one somewhere. I'm pressing shift to pick an object up, so it's just moving perpendicular to the camera, and then I release shift and start pressing V to turn on vertex snapping, so I can snap to this point on this tile here. Just a little trick, maybe you didn't know. So there can be frogs here. I think this should be quite enough for a first experiment. So my frogs manager it has a target area here, and I want it to have a public transform spawn location group. Yes. And this will point to the parent here. Let me fill it in now that I think of it. Yes. And I don't need to make that a transform actually. But since transforms are linked to the hierarchy, you know, transforms store what children there are, I think this is a logical way to do it. And then, so here's the frogs. What we want to have is a hash set of random location fields, spawn areas, and let's just make that. Oh no, we're initializing that with some values anyway, so let's do that over here. Spawn areas is new hash set random location field with the spawn location group dot get components in children a random location field. There we go. So we now have a hash set with all the spawn areas. So let's see. We can now spawn a certain number of frogs. Let's do it like this first. Public int frog count equals, let's do 10. And then let's for int e equals 0. Oh, ugly. 0 e smaller than frog count I. Plus I call it e because that's the Dutch way of naming that ladder. So this now runs 10 times. Well, frog count times. I'm setting the target area here, but what I want to do first is setting the location. So that should be a one-liner, but let's factor 3 spawn pos equals right. I'm making this into a hash set, which makes it hard to get a random value out of it. So let's change that into a list. And then we can say spawn, spawn areas, and then random dot range 0 to spawn areas dot count. What's okay? Yes, and then get random point within that spawn area, and that's your spawn position. So then we say to the frog dot trans. No, sorry. To the let's use up dot transform form dot position equals spawn position. And frog add frog, I think it should be good to, after having enabled it, to say frog dot reset. Oh, sorry. This is just like this. So we should now have 10 frogs. Is it really that simple, guys? Seems it is. Okay, compiling. Nothing seems to bug out on me. Cool, let's double check. Oh, nothing the matter. Okay, let's see what happens. Whoa. Okay, this looks funny, but it's very wrong. There's one frog sitting over here. Yeah, this is not correct at all. There is, I guess, 10 frogs, but I don't think the position is correct here. Let's see what I did wrong. I'm setting the position here, and the rotation, and the parent. I'm setting the jump target here. I'm setting the position here, and the spawn pos is get random points from an area. Let's see where that leads. That's a... I see what happens. I'm using an inside unit circle here, but I'm ignoring the radius. I should... so this is all within the radius of 1 meter now. So I should actually times this with the radius, and then it should just work. Yes. Can we please try this out? There we go. Now it's getting funny. Cool. So let me deselect the shit. Okay, all the cubes get duplicated as well, obviously, because every frog now has its own trigger. I should have really put this some bit lower. But I like it a lot. Let's see. Yoop. There we go. Lovely. They all work, and they've all jumped to a different point in the ditch here. So that's good. That should actually, I think, be enough for a video like this. Spawning works. The only thing I want to add now, before I call this workable for VR, is a way to trigger their jumps. And maybe a way to not, oh, excuse me, have them stick through each other too much, because there's actually 3 frogs in one place here. But that will have to wait until another video. I kind of like what happens here. Okay, and this one, oh, this just has a very small jump. Lovely. Also, I need sound. I really need sound. But hey, I like where this is going. We'll continue in the next one. See ya.